Thanks for visiting Patient and Weather today. I'm meteorologist Al Peterlin. I'd like to talk about the weather health stress for March 23rd, 2026. We do keep additional graphics available at tpatw.com. We also maintain a patient weather storefront on Amazon. Amazon purchases made through our patient weather storefront do support the activities of patient weather. Looking at our surface map for Monday, high pressure really dominating much of the country, but we have two very interesting frontal systems. One is a new cold front entering into the northern portions of the country from Montana down into Wyoming and back up through the Dakotas. But the really active frontal system that has been giving us difficulties this weekend is stretching now all the way from Austin across really New Orleans and back up into South Carolina, with a little bit of activity still hanging on in the south and southern South Carolina area. Looking at our vitality index, which is a measure of all of the different weather elements that might impact human health, and you'll see we have a little bit of activity here, basically along that frontal thrust up here in the northern Rockies. We have a little bit of activity starting here in West Texas and then stretching east behind that frontal system all the way through the middle Mississippi Valley into the Tennessee Valley and across the middle Atlantic states into New England. Looking at pressure change, and we'll have a little bit of falling pressure here in Washington State, a little bit of falling pressure with that front up here in the Dakotas, but we will have post-frontal rising pressure all the way from West Texas across the middle Mississippi Valley, the Missouri Boot Heel area, across the Ohio and Tennessee valleys and Great Lakes into the middle Atlantic states and on up into New England. Looking at temperature change, again very much along that same frontal thrust, we have some warming temperatures here in the northern plains, but note that we have falling temperatures behind that front all the way again from the middle Mississippi Valley, clear across the Tennessee Valley, up into the middle Atlantic states, and pushing a little bit into New England. In any case, this is post-frontal cold. Looking at dew point temperatures, again, very much the same thing. We have the falling dew points behind the front. We have rising dew points in the west again, and rising dew points with that frontal system way up in the northern plains. Looking at the change in oxygen availability, again reflecting both of those frontal positions, we have an asthma and arthritis risk here in the Pacific Northwest. We have asthma and arthritis risk literally from eastern Wyoming up in through the Dakotas and picking up northern Minnesota, maybe even the Michigan Upper Peninsula, but looking like it holds off just a bit. But note we have the risk of migraine. Spotty, of course, here in California and southern Arizona, but a very significant large stretch of migraine risk all the way from West Texas, Amarillo, across Dallas, up into Oklahoma, and even the easternmost portions of Kansas, but then stretching east across all of the middle Mississippi Valley, the middle Atlantic states, the Great Lakes, and on into New England. Note the only place that is left free of that migraine is the area ahead of that frontal system, right here in the southern third of the states along the Gulf and Florida. Thanks for visiting the patient and the weather. Your comments are appreciated, and if you hurt, tell us where you're located.